Okay, hello and welcome to NSE Study Break. I'm your host, Lisette, and today we are interviewing Maribel Lopez she's an alum from California State University, Northridge, who did her NSE exchange in Puerto Rico for fall of 2019. So, hello Maribel.
Hello.
All right, so we just have some basic general questions about NSE, your experience, I guess with the coordinators, and your exchange, and even if you want to promote your home campus as well. So yeah, so to start, where is your home campus, and then where was your host campus?
My home campus is in Northridge, so it's California State University in Northridge. And my host campus was in Rio Piedras. So it was la Universidad de Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. It was.
And then, I guess, what were some of your favorite parts of the exchange that you went on?
My favorite part was, there were so many, but for sure meeting people from different, I had never been outside of California or lived outside of California. So just meeting people from different cultures, different states, and different people from all over the world was very eye-opening, and also I feel made me a little more open-minded in that sense, and just I feel like I learned more than I have learned in the the years that I was in school, because it was a diversity of people.
Yeah, what did you think of your roommate? Where were they from? Your exchange?
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. So my roommate was from Germany. She's actually an international student at her school in North Dakota. So she was already international, studying internationally, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. I had never been friends with someone outside of California, or my culture too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. We got really, really close. Of course, there was little problems here and there, but we were able to talk it out, and we got along pretty well. And she actually invited me back home after our exchange was over, so that was really cool. I got to experience Europe for the first time with her, and yeah, it was really cool. I just felt like I was living in a movie. You go on exchange, and then you become BFFs with your roommate, and then you go and back to their hometown. Yeah, it was really cool though. I think I was really grateful for her, because I think she was very open. Mm-hmm. So that helped me a lot, because I was really homesick at some point. So she was very she was really nice, and just she, I don't know how to explain it. I think I got a really good roommate, for sure.
Oh, that's so great. I'm glad you were able to, be good friends with your roommate. Besides that, the other people you met in the exchange, were you able to kind of make friends, build that community as well, with students from Puerto Rico?
Yes. Yeah, other than my roommate, I became really good friends with other girls from different states, and I still talk to them to this day. Yeah, and then also friends from Puerto Rico. I got close to this girl that I took a swim class when I was in Puerto Rico. I learned how to swim in Puerto Rico. And so one of the girls in my swim class, I became really, really great friends with her. And then I had a mentor with it was called the Boricua mentorship program. So every international student or person who was studying there had their person, their mentor. So I got really close to my mentor.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I still talk to them now, and we just they're planning to come to California, and then also eventually me going back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's good to know. You had such a good exchange and good experience with NSE.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I wish I would have done it earlier, because I did it my senior year, so I wasn't able to do it again. But I'm really happy that I just decided to do it by myself, because I think for sure that was one of the things that was stopping me from pursuing just going out of state in general. Yeah.
Do you think if you had done it earlier, would you have stayed for like another year, or would you want to do another NSE exchange somewhere else?
I think I would have done another NSE exchange for sure. I wanted to maybe like live in, for sure, abroad, like in Europe, like somewhere outside of the US. That's why I chose Puerto Rico, because it was still kind of like, even though it's a US territory, like I knew that it was going to be different from like the US, you know? So it was like I was abroad or overseas. But yeah, I always tell the people that I met, if they like, because they were younger than me, so if they do like an NSC exchange, then I can like go visit them. You know, like I'll be living through them.
I guess, what was a challenge you had to overcome, and what did you learn about yourself by overcoming that challenge while you were on exchange?
I think just like making the best out of like the situation that I was in, because my first week that I was there, I was really homesick. Like I was ready to like come back home and I don't know, just like drop everything, because I was so homesick. It was like maybe it was the first week for sure, and then I think that was like the saddest days of my life. But for sure, just having like talking to my friends from back home, and just like I'm already there, like just like kind of like, you know, like it's gonna, like it's always, whenever you start something, it's always hard, like change.
Yeah.
Something that I learned about myself, that I don't really adjust well to change. But I was just like, think about like, okay, right now I feel this way, but it's not gonna last forever. Like I'm here for a reason, and like I'm already here. Like I already made it here. Now let's see like what's out there. So so I'm really glad that I was able to, or I'm mature enough to like just like get myself out of that, or think that way, and get myself out of like that funk for a little bit. But yeah, and then like after like meeting people from like different like from the US, and just also like just meeting people, then it was a lot better. And having my roommate for sure, because she was a person that I was like talking to every day for maybe like about like 2-3 weeks, and then I was like able to open up to like other people from the exchange program.
I was just saying, I think that would be great, especially for the people that are going to watch this that want to do an exchange, to know like it's not abnormal, you know, to feel very homesick, or like to take some time to like, you know, get out there and be more extroverted, to meet the other like exchange students. And like,
for sure, I think one of the things that I'm so happy that I did was journal. I started a journal as soon as I like went on the airplane. I put like how I was feeling. I just wrote about everything. Whenever I felt homesick, whenever I like missed my friends, or whenever I did something like very exciting,
yeah,
I would write everything down. So that did help me like kind of like, even I felt like, you know, like when you go somewhere and you feel like you don't have like your best friends there, or like the person that you always go to, and they don't really, and it's like calling them, they don't really understand because they're not in like your shoes, like they're not with you.
Yeah.
So that for sure like help me like just like let my feelings out, like anything that I was feeling.
That's good. Yeah, I think that would be like a great idea. I wish I would have journaled on mine to, you know, really remember, like, you know, even when the bad parts, when I was like homesick as well.
Yeah, I did. Definitely put the good, the bad, the in between. I put everything.
I know. I loved the fact that you journaled, and it was so cute. I guess my next question is, what were your favorite campus traditions you got to experience while on exchange? Or even just your favorite like Puerto Rican traditions you got to experience?
Oh, something that I really liked is that they would say "buen provecho" every time. Like somebody saw you eating something, they'd be like, "Oh, buen provecho." Mm-hmm. That's definitely one of the things that I like miss when I came back home, because back home in LA, like everyone's in a rush. Yeah. And over there, even if you were in a rush, you're like, "Oh, buen provecho," like "buen provecho." Like they would acknowledge you, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I feel like life was a little more like slower. Like not everybody was in a rush. Like people were willing to help you. I got lost the first day that I was there, and they were like, some girl, like she just like walked me all the way to my class, and she like showed me and stuff. And then also people like being really curious. Like they love Puerto Ricans. I noticed that they love people who visit Puerto Rico, and they're like really curious on like why they chose Puerto Rico. Why, you know, like just like it's just such a small island, like why did you come here? And then the food was amazing. Mofongo was my favorite. It's plantain. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's like the mashed plantain and some kind of like meat with like the criollo sauce or something.
Yeah. Before I went to Puerto Rico, I was like, I don't even like bananas like that much. Obviously, plantain is different, but I was like, I would just, you just kind of put the two together. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, I'm not gonna like that. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive that, but now I miss it. I want mofongo. It's not like all water,
They don't have any Puerto Rican like restaurants?
I'm sure they do, but I just haven't found like a good one.
Yeah. All right, and then I guess my last question would be, why would you recommend NSE to other students?
I would recommend it because I loved it. I feel like going to study somewhere else like changed my life. I learned a lot. I met like really great people. I learned like not only about like other cultures and like being away, but also about myself. Yeah, and then also it just kind of like makes you like realize that there's like bigger things. Like there's so much more to just like where you live, like getting out of your comfort zone, and just like pushing yourself to do more than what you're like used to.
Yeah.
Every person I talk to and they're like is younger than me at school, like when I came back, I'm like, you should like try to study abroad. Like do it. Like I loved it. I'm so happy that I got a really good experience, even though it was hard at sometimes, but like, I mean, everything in life, like everything's gonna be hard, first or like at some point. But yeah, I feel like it changed my life for the better, and I also like more confidence. I gained more confidence in myself because I had to put myself out there. Because I'm shy at first, and I'm very skeptical about like at first. So I was just like, okay, like in my head, like, okay, even if I'm shy, like I'm gonna like talk to these people, because if I don't talk to them and I just wait for them to talk to me, then I'm not gonna make any friends. Then I did that, and I just feel like I just kind of like stayed with that when I came back home too.
Yeah,
because I'm very outgoing, but I am shy at first, and people don't notice it, but I can feel it. Like I just like I'm shy.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about yourself, and also makes you appreciate like your mom's food, or like whoever you live with, like their food, their company, like your family and your friends, and just to appreciate everything so much more, because you're so far away, and you can't just like drive out and like talk to your friends like before.
Yeah. Totally great. And then that's great. I definitely think those are like really good reasons to like recommend NSE, so just to learn more about yourself, and even just like a new place, especially if you've never been outside of your like home state.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then do you have any other last, advice, comments about your exchange? You want to hype up your home campus for an exchange?
Oh, yes. Tucson, Northridge is a really good school. I loved it. I missed it, like, whenever I was abroad, because obviously, like an American school is going to be different from, like, I don't know, like, even though it's a U.S. territory, like, it was really different. Like, the culture was different. Everything was different. The classes, the language. I wish that's one thing that I do regret, is even though my first language is Spanish, I didn't practice my Spanish as much as I should have, but my Spanish did get a lot better.
That's good.
Yeah. But I would recommend Puerto Rico, because there's a lot to do.
Would you have any last, comments? You're good.
No, just journal. If you go study abroad, wherever you go, journal. Write down your experiences, even if you're lazy. You're like, later you're gonna look at it and be like, no, like, there's some things that obviously you don't remember every single thing in detail of like anything in your life. So then, like, just like having someone like somewhere to like look back and just like read stuff, and you're like, oh my god, like I remember this. Like, it's just really nice to have it written down.
Yeah.
just looking back at it like my diary. But you know, like right now, like 10 years from now, I'm gonna look back at that and I'm gonna be like, oh, like I did that, you know. So journal, that's something that I would recommend. And take lots of pictures. Doesn't matter if you're annoying, take lots of pictures. Be curious about yourself, curious about everything. Just like ask a lot of questions and put yourself out there.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is the end of my interview questions. So thank you, Maribel, for joining us today, and thank you for all those that are watching. Yeah.